Hey, thank you so much for pressing play here on another Akashic Academy episode. Are we the Akashic Academy show? No, we're the Akashic Show, but it's all the same. What a way to start.
I know why you're confused though, because we're both debuting new shows, and the network itself is growing so much that it's all just becoming like, what?
It's like, what are we doing here? This is the Akashic Show.
Yes.
Okay, now that I know where I am and what we're doing, perfect. Welcome so much. Thank you so much for pressing play. If you are maybe looking at creating a new future, or you want to expand your future or open up some new opportunities, the secret may be in being able to actually rewrite your past. Our past is often playing into our future. It's like we look to our past to create our future. And if we consistently look to our past and we're seeing things that we don't like, or we're seeing some blocks in our past, good chances are you're projecting it into your future. So in this episode, you're going to learn how to go into your past, rewrite those past blocks, and absolutely open up some new doors for you in the future. It's going to be a very powerful episode. So we're so happy that you decided to press play. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you tuning in every single Friday to the Akashic Show here on the Akashic page, and every single 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12 p.m. Eastern time. You know, you could be watching anything right now. You've got all kinds of options in this day and age on the internet, but you decide to spend some time with myself and Emily, and we really appreciate it. Now, if you don't know who Emily Harrison is, let me introduce you. Emily Harrison is the founder and director here at the Akashic Academy. She is certifying healers all over the world to read their Akashic Records, which is an absolutely wonderful modality where you can use to tap in and get answers to questions that you may be struggling with, and also create your own modalities and healing services for people. It is an absolutely powerful modality, and it's transforming people's lives, really tapping into understanding and giving you a process on how to create a deeper connection of love with yourself. So Emily, you're my partner here at the Akashic Academy. You're my friend. I love getting together with you every single Friday and running this academy with you. How are you doing today?
Well, now I'm like rocking out in my head, because as soon as you said, if you don't know Emily Harrison, you know what I mean. You know. I am so happy to be here. I'm doing awesome. I love Fridays when you're talking about this time slot at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. for the Easterners. It feels like a portal of time, a ceremony where we're all getting together and creating the space together. I love hanging out with you, my friend. I love hanging out with our growing community of people who are ready to expand. Thank you so much for giving the breakdown of the Akashic Records and how it's transforming people's lives, because it started by transforming my life. And my life looked completely differently 5 years ago. And actually, probably, if I can even shorten the gap, it was more like 3 years ago. And you, my friend, are the person who has opened the space, has created that portal for me to really experience this life transformation, this timeline shift, to being able to share what my mission is. Obviously, I'm super passionate about the space of the Akashic Records. It has the ability to give us such an incredible perspective, as well as tune in to so many different possibilities for our future in terms of technology, in terms of just human connection, and raising our own frequency, which actually makes compassion and oneness easier, makes harmony easier. There are so many things that are coming with our future. And when we can use this space to tap into the records, we have such an incredible resource. This is a tool, a spiritual tool. And without you, my friend, I don't know that I would be on this stage, on this platform, and creating platforms for others in the same way. Because as our paths have crossed, of course, everything that everyone's experiencing out here, everything that came out of your mouth in the short 1 second that it came out, the Akashic Show, the Akashic Network, our shows, all of this stuff, all of this information, not just what we're putting out, but what the hosts of our network are showing up and sharing, and the different ways to grow and expand, all of this is coming out of that intersection from you and I. So thank you for being here. Thank you for teaching me and keeping me strong and courageous and moving forward. I love the way that we're able to support each other and laugh together and to create that overflow with our community, because it is absolutely fun inside the space.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Guys, look, if you're tuning in, whether you're watching this live or you're watching the recording, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button and hit that love button. Send some of those bubbles across the screen. Let's get that online party started. Definitely leave some comments below. You know, one thing, I believe it's Annette. She says that she's tuning in from London. Let us know where you're tuning in from. You know, we've got a global audience here. People from all around the globe have been tuning into this the Akashic Show every single Friday with us. We'd love for you to let us know where you're tuning in from, and we can see the true global spirit and global community that we've got here. And we're breaking barriers. You know, this is the first time in the written history anyways that we can connect in this kind of way and capacity, and it is a beautiful thing. So thank you guys so much for being part of it. Last thing I'm going to quickly ask you to do is share this out, because so many people are struggling to create the future that they want or to live into a life that they want, because they're stuck in hurts, disappointments, frustrations, regrets of the past. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you a special meditation that is going to help you rewrite that and totally release yourself from the past so that you can open up your future. And Emily's going to be sharing some powerful tips and insights along the way. So, you know, we have a very powerful episode that we want to share with you. So help us get to as many souls as we can, and reach as many people as we can by sharing this video out. And I'm just going to take 2 seconds here. Thanks so much. We've got Wisconsin in the house. We've got Pennsylvania in the house. We've got London in the house. Columbus, Ohio. Fantastic. We got Alabama's here. We've also another person from Pennsylvania. We got New York here. So awesome. Fantastic. A lot of people from the U.S. We've got a couple of people here. Essex, UK. Fantastic. Connecticut is here. So U.S., England. I'm in Canada, so I'll represent the Canadians up in here. And we've got Nevada's here, North Dakota's here. So people from all over the place. Thanks so much for tuning in. Keep it coming in, guys. Leave comments and questions. Emily, it's our favorite time of the week. You know what time it is.
I know what time it is. All right. Am I going to go first this week, or you want to go first?
Totally. You go. Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Give me my drum roll. I guess you got to set up the...
I'm totally getting the comment ready. So it's puppet time. 1, 2, 3. Bam.
Lori Hendon, everybody. Meet Lori. If you do not know Lori tuned in last week, and she shared that she had tuned in at the exact right moment, exactly what she needed. And how often does that happen? It's happening more and more. We are following our intuition, and it feels so natural. It doesn't even necessarily feel like, oh, I need to be guided to Facebook right now and turn it on and see what's on, and there must be something there. It's more just like you're going through your life and you find yourself in this space and you're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly where I need to be. And it's effortless, right? It's effortless. And Lori's comment just really brought my attention and awareness to how much synchronicity is unfolding in my life. I'm glad that it's unfolding in your all's lives too out there. And I want to just continue to hold space for being at the right place at the right time. It is a beautiful thing when it happens in our life. Lori, I'm glad it happened to you right here at the Akashic Academy on the Akashic Show. Just in case you got lost too. Coach Lee got lost this morning. Lost through all the dimensions. This is where you are.
Keep reminding us where we're at.
That's my favorite puppet. My favorite comment from last week.
Perfect. And Emily, you want to give me a drum roll?
Of course.
Boy, that's a serious drum. Bam! I was just gonna hold that. See, I'm like, I wonder how long she'll keep going.
I can't see when you put the comments up.
Awesome. So here this week we've got Hope Carol. Hope Carol, I know you guys can't see the full comment, so I'm going to read it out. So Hope left us a comment that said, the other thing about the power of ceremony is that if it is done for spiritual reasons, it has the power of everyone in that tradition that has done it before. And so last week we were talking all about the power of ceremony and what that can bring to the table. Of course, we run ceremonies inside of the Akashic Academy. We were talking about why and the reasons of ceremonies and how they traditionally are used in spiritual processes. So Hope, I appreciate that comment and you playing big with us. Thank you guys so much. And if you didn't catch last week's episode, when you're done this week's episode, you can go in. In fact, on the Academy page, all of our shows are listed now by shows. So you can go under videos and you can see all the different shows that we've got coming for you on this page. And, I encourage you to have a nice binge watching weekend of myself and Emily. What better way to spend the weekend than watching the Akashic Show all weekend long?
Nice. I put it on while I'm doing dishes. If I miss a show during the week, I'll put them on while I'm cleaning up. So just they're playing and I can hear and tune in. And this is really powerful, what we're building here. So it's very cool that we've created those playlists now, make it very easy for people to find the information.
Yeah, fantastic. So, Emily, we've got some incredible news going on. We've got some new members, all kinds of cool stuff. Why don't you catch us up quickly on some of the news that's happening with the Academy, and then we'll dive into this week's topic about rewriting our past.
I'm stoked about this week's topic. So let's fly through a little news here, everybody. We want to give a shout out and a welcome to all of the new members who have joined us in the past week. We have Camilla Ranson, we have a Sal Moore, we have Kimberly Carlson, Eliza Hartzell, Teresa Lawton, and Laura O'Shea. Thank you all for making this commitment to dive in and join us. It is so fun inside of this space. That theme of fun is really part of just who I am as a person. So, of course, I'm bringing that to my community and business as I'm continuing to grow. We all have like different flavors that we're adding to the pot here. If you guys like fun, the intuitive development course has been just off the hook, silly fun this week. We did a clairvoyant activation, which in and of itself is really, really powerful. But then all of the fun that we've added on top of it, like literally I caught myself laughing at the stoplight later on the day as I was driving, remembering how much fun I had had. This community, this soul tribe is connecting in a way that is exceeding my wildest expectations. And I'm so honored to be a part of what's going on. We have coming up, because we're so fun and our community is awesome, and I'm so looking forward to this Sunday, we're going to be rocking and rolling, having fun again inside the Akashic Academy for our members only. We're doing a new moon ceremony, got a big new moon coming up, where we're going to create that space to step into our power, to hold the space for our goals, the collective ones that we're building at the Academy, the individual ones of our members. And it's just the space to be if you're growing and expanding. And for $11.11 a month, which we've broken down to $1.39 per workshop, which you guys is not going to last for long. I'm just going to be really honest with you. If you were excited about joining us, I don't know how much longer you're going to be able to get in at that price point. So now is the time to do it. And you'll be able to join us inside the Academy for our new moon ceremony this weekend. And there are powerful, energetic frequencies, bodies that come into play during every different moon cycle. This one in particular is such a good one. I shared some special extra resources with our Academy members to know exactly what it is that's going on. So if you want this kind of friendship, connection, direction, and expansion in your life, the Academy is the place to be. Scroll up to the top of this page right here and click that Learn More button, and you can join us inside of the Academy. All right, Coach Nick, let's talk about rewriting our past, because this is a big old topic. This is a fun one.
Sounds good. I'm playing with the light because the sun is coming in, so it looks all like hazy, right? So I'm like, I've got my puppet here, and I'm doing this.
You're gonna get lactic acid build up in your arm from holding it up there.
Totally, yeah. So I won't be able to do that. But all right, let's get into it.
Oh, it's like you're in a dream. You're talking to us from a dream.
Totally, I'm coming from you from the dream world. All right, so let's talk about rewriting the past. So I'm going to tell you a story of mine that will sort of set this up. So I used to have a really bad temper. I was very angry dude growing up, and especially, and it actually got worse. Like as you know, in my teens, I was angry. In high school, I was angry. I would get into a lot of conflicts with people. And then as I started getting older, like into my early 20s, it really amplified and got worse. And I really just would say nasty things. And if I got upset, it was like I had no control over what I would say or what I would do or how I would behave. And I would really lash out and with an intent to hurt, like to be meanful to hurt. And, I'm really happy that I've been able to move beyond that in my life. But I'll tell you, there's this one story. I was playing soccer on a team, and this team was we were a brand new team, and the team was coming together. There was like kind of two different teams pulled into one, and and my dad was the coach of the team, but my dad was away that week, and so another guy just kind of stepped into coach who was part of the club, but he wasn't part of the team, but he was part of the overall club that we were part of. And anyways, he had said a few things that I really took personal through the day. And I kind of felt like he was attacking my dad a little bit, and I was already kind of amped up. So anyways, I remember I got substituted off the field, and I felt like I shouldn't have been substituted off the field, which, trust me, every athlete thinks that. Right? I was playing the best, right? And I got substituted off, and anyways, I started going nuts on the sideline and really called them hurtful names and really was going nuts. And it got really tense, like almost like physical fight tense in each other's face, all this kind of stuff. And you know what? After that, it really created some tension on the team. He wanted to kick me out of the team. He wanted to kick me out of the club. There was obviously now some tension between him and my dad that started happening, and it really created a lot of tension with the whole team, and it kind of split the team. And I really felt horrible, and I carried it for years that I did that, because I really felt like not only was I hurtful to this guy, but I was also hurtful to people that I loved, like my dad, my brother played on the team. I was hurtful to friends. So I really carried a lot of guilt and weight about that because of the damage that I did because I couldn't control myself. And so years and years later on, I was in a meditation one day, and that came up for me. That memory had come up. And I realized that it was that my meditation was essentially, I was wanting to heal that. And so what I did is I pictured actually myself. I put myself back in that scenario. And then I pictured myself actually giving that guy, that coach, a hug, and us being able to make up. I asked him for forgiveness within my meditation, and I also forgave myself. I allowed myself to let it go, and actually gave gratitude towards that, because that scenario taught me a lot, and it really allowed me to see where I needed to grow and how I can really, because that's not the first time that I've allowed my anger to ruin opportunities for myself up to that point in my life. There have been other opportunities that I've had in my life that my anger damaged it and destroyed those opportunities. So it really allowed me to see where I needed to grow and where I needed to do some healing. So I was able to go into that past. I was able to heal it, let it go, forgive it. And I'm today a much better person because of it. And so the ability to rewrite your past is not just the ability to rewrite your past, it's the ability to open up doors for your future. And I'm going to be leading you through an activation and a meditation, going you through the same process that I did to be able to do that for yourself. But before we do that, Emily, I'd love to hear from you and about, what are your thoughts on rewriting your past and the power of it?
I think that it is, a super powerful opportunity that we possess when we get to a certain level of evolution to do that kind of work on ourselves, a certain level of consciousness expansion. I don't want to share my opinion on those things, but I want to comment on first your experience, because this is the brilliance of what happens when you begin to go through the awakening process. This came about between you and spirit as you were in that space. It came to your awareness that you needed to look at this. It came to your awareness what to do to work through it. Like all of that was not taught to you by somebody else. It developed from the development of awareness. And this is what I really want to empower each of you to experience and to know and to trust, is that your process will develop on its own, and it's so beautiful. Now, when you come into mentorship with another spiritual master, you're going to expand and grow a lot faster. But I just really love that your spiritual path, now not the meditation necessarily, but the Hare Krishna and the background looks a little bit different than the way I do it. And mine looks even totally different than how I tuned into spirit as a kid. But the point is that if you are in alignment with true awakening and expansion, you are going to be in line with whatever truth like this that is going to give you the biggest healing, the biggest transformation, the biggest rewrite possibility. You have to participate. And that's what I think is the deeper level of awareness, is recognizing we actually participate in that rewriting process, right? And this is how you participated in it, how you showed up and did it, was by what language I would use is like channeling the information in on how to do this kind of work. I do something almost exactly super similar with my students, and I channel in this same process as well. I think that the idea that we are concerned or excited by the possibility that we can even rewrite our Akashic records, our past, our future, is showing a certain amount of growth and evolution in the totality of all of us. I think we should acknowledge that, because I don't know how long you guys have been believing in past lives. I've only been here on the planet for 40 years, and I haven't believed in past lives, all of that. It probably only came into my awareness maybe 20 years ago, somewhere in my 20s. And then maybe around somewhere but in 25 to my 30s, could I really accept it? Like I had to just be with that possibility for a while before I could really accept it. So when I was learning about past lives to begin with, of course, Many Lives, Many Masters, which is a hugely popular book, talked and gave an account of a psychologist who was experiencing past lives as people were regressing. They weren't necessarily concerned with rewriting them. There was some healing that came about simply by acknowledging and being able to understand how the pieces came together. And so many times acknowledgement is enough for us to grow and expand. But many times we got to rewrite. You've got to be an author. You got to get in there. And this energy is pliable. The energy is malleable, right? The higher your consciousness, the more you can interact with this etheric field of energy that stores the imprint of all time, whether it's past, present, or future. We're talking about past today and rewriting those areas where we F things up. Or maybe you got messed up. Maybe you're holding a lot of pain and guilt from a time when you have, maybe you're taking on that victim mode mentality. I'm kind of like you. I'm more of a bully. In my shadow self, I'm more of a bully than a victim. But maybe you're a victim. Maybe that part of yourself is a victim and you have a circumstance where you want to go back and heal. When we bring the awareness to the rewriting of it, and that is for me where we add the light, we create that space in there for a different possibility to energetically have played out for us. It's really, really interesting how these things begin to shift your future. They shift your thoughts, your memories about the experience. So I'm ready to dive in and do this with you. I'm really excited, and I'm proud of you, because normally I do this, and you in the pre-show chat like that we're having, you just all of this wisdom and experience is coming out of you. I'm like, why don't you do it? And you're like, okay, I will. So I'm excited, and I'm proud of you too. Let's rock it.
Awesome. Fantastic, guys. And I do appreciate you mentioning that other side of it. Like, this works for anything, whether you felt like you were in something that you did, like in the story that I shared, or like, as Emily shared, like that you did something, or even if something was done to you that you need to let go of, it's time to move it. This same process works. So first thing is get yourself into a comfortable position. Try to make sure that your spine is straight as possible. It is so important that you sit up straight when you're doing your meditations, that it opens up your energy channels and the energy can flow through your chakras. So please sit up straight, back straight, and then just close your eyes if you can and take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose as well. This is called yogi's breath. When you fill in completely big inside of your stomach first, and then you expand your chest as wide as you can go. So it's a full breath and then a full exhale. And you want to make sure you give a full exhale, right? So make sure there's no oxygen left in. So take 3 deep breaths like that. One. 2. 3. Now, take yourself back to a moment in your past that you'd want to heal. Allow your consciousness to be in that moment. See yourself within your body. Look through your eyes. What were you seeing? What were you hearing? What was around you? What was the setting? What was the smell? What were you feeling? Were you tasting something? See if you can engage the senses back in it and recreate the experience. Be there fully in your consciousness. Then when you're there, feel what you were feeling. Were you scared? Were you angry? Were you frustrated? Did you feel like you were being wronged? Did you feel like you were right? Were you entitled to a certain feeling, to a certain position in the scenario? Whatever you're feeling, and I want you to feel it with zero judgment. Just witness the feeling. Just be there with it, rather than saying, oh, I wish it wasn't that way or not that way. Give it no opinion. Give it no story. It just is what it is. Then when you're there, whatever the scenario is, I want you to imagine a bright light. And this light represents wisdom or knowledge. So this light represents unconditional love right from source, right from the Godhead. And this light is coming into the scenario and it's wrapping you and everybody around, whoever else was involved, whoever else was there. And if it was just you, that's fine. It's just you. If there was others involved, then fine. Others are involved. And this unconditional love, this white light, this purity is engulfing the entire scene so much where it begins to fade everything out. Kind of like my screen where it's hazy. Everything is just engulfed in this hazy white light. And now you're sitting in that space. And you know that you're fully supported with absolute unconditional love straight from Godhead, straight from the source, who loves you unconditionally, has no judgment of you, and only wants the best for you. Then in that moment, this is going to vary for each person, take new action within your mind's eye. So I'll give you an example. In my case scenario, I actually, in my mind's eye, I'm hugging the guy that I was chastising, that I was being mean to. I was calling him names. I was trying to hurt him with my words. Now in my mind's eye, I'm actually holding him and we're hugging each other. And I don't have to say anything, but in my heart, I'm asking for forgiveness. Maybe you need to say something to the person that's there with you. Maybe you need to say something to yourself. Maybe your action is to walk away And that's the action of self-love. Maybe your action is to stand there and stick up for yourself. Maybe the action is to bring the person closer to you and give them a hug and see that they were hurting. That's why they hurt you. Your job is to be the absolute unconditional loving person that you are meant to be and that you truly are. Be pure there in that moment. Now, while you're doing that, I'm going to do 3 ohms to resonate into that vibration. So hold that thought, take the action in your mind's eye, and allow this vibration to enter. And when you feel right, shake it off, put a smile on your face, and know that that past has been rewritten. And what it means to be rewritten means you have changed the meaning or story about it. What happened, happened. I yelled at that guy. I caused hurt and pain. That's fine. But what is rewritten is what it now means. I am free from guilt, free from pain, free from fear, free from shame, which now allows me to be free to create a more loving, peaceful future. Thank you so much. Namaste. Hare Krishna. You may open your eyes and come back and join us. Thank you. Emily, do you have anything to share before we wrap up today's session?
Give you the floor until you were done. That was so awesome for me. I know that I'm looking at our time, and I want to respect our lifetime, but there's about a freaking million things that I want to say. First of all, it was like being on a roller coaster ride in the beginning. I love roller coasters. It's like being on a ride I've never been on. I was so excited, and I felt myself snapping in and that like nervous excitement for whatever you were going to do for us, because like I said, I just never experienced you being in the driver's seat for the activations. It was so cool. What came up for me during the activation was monstrous and huge. I don't even have time to go into it. Maybe I'll post a live video or a post about it later. And when you were oming, like I had to open my eyes and peek to see if that sound was coming from you. It sounded like you were making it from a machine or an instrument. It was coming from another dimension of reality. That was so fun. I'm really proud of you. That was awesome. And I had a huge experience. So I'm excited to hear what other people had to say about that. And feel free to start a conversation in the Facebook page, on the page about this if you had a really cool experience like I did, because we are over time. We do want to respect that we are keeping our shows to half an hour. You guys have things to do. We have other hosts that are coming on and sharing. Brad Johnson's coming up later on today, the top of, well, actually 11 a.m. Pacific time, so that's 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then this evening we have Laura, the Feng Shui lady, coming on. I think she's got a special guest coming on, which is always cool when we got a live guest in the house. So stay tuned to the Academy page, and I'll see you all again soon. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.